Hi guys, my name is Jack Bushey, and the skill that I'm going to be showing you guys today is passing a lacrosse ball. To start it off, the most important thing for beginners would be to have your foot placement and your hand placement. The proper foot placement for a righty would be having his left foot forward, pointed toward where he's going to throw the ball, and his right foot being a back stationary foot to get power into his throw. Then for the hands, throwing a lacrosse ball, you would want to have one hand roughly about here, so a third up from the stick, and one all the way at the very bottom of the stick. This can differentiate between people for what they feel most comfortable, but I would say this is a good average place to have your hand. So while you have your hands in the right spot and your feet pointed, the next important step would be to get your arms back. You can't generate any power while throwing it, and it won't go anywhere if you don't put your arms back. So all together, you have your one hand here. Your dominant hand should be here. Your less dominant hand should be at the bottom. You have your feet, and you get your arms back. The next step would be the actual throwing motion of throwing a lacrosse ball. So you have your feet like this in your hands, the same way that I showed. And as you bring your arms back, once you get to that very last point where your arms are going to end going back, you then take a step forward with your front foot, and you get ready to swing your arms forward with a follow through. And on your follow through, your back leg should be coming forward. I'll do that again so you can see it better. So you get your feet the way they're supposed to be, with your less dominant foot facing forward and your dominant foot being stationary in the back. You set up your hands the way that they had it before. You bring your arms back. You come through, step forward, follow through, and swing back with your less dominant foot. All right. So now I have Mike here to demonstrate and see if what I taught makes sense. All right, so Mike, show everyone where you would want to have your hands. Good. Set up your feet. Perfect. Now in slow motion, bring your arms back, step forward, follow through. Perfect. The only thing you want to do, we'll do it again. After you throw and follow through, bring your back foot forward. That is perfect. One more time for the camera, please. Good work. After you master doing it with your dominant hand and you feel comfortable with it, then you could start to move on with your less dominant hand, and the rules apply. It's just reverse. So now your dominant foot would be forward, pointing to where you're going to be throwing the ball. Your less dominant foot is back, using it's stationary for power. Your hands stay at the same exact place as if you're doing it with your opposite hand, and it looks a little something like this. Good. Make sure you step. Proud of you. In conclusion, the very important things to know when starting to throw a lacrosse ball. First step would be getting your feet in the right position. Less dominant foot facing forward where you're going to throw the ball. Dominant foot back for power. Then next, you want to have your hands in a comfortable position, but roughly your dominant hand should be a third of the way up from the bottom of the stick. Your less dominant hand should be at the bottom of the stick. Next thing to know, you want to get your arms back for power, step, follow through, and that's basically it.